Today on In the Wood Yard, we've got oak in the bin and we've got the truck parked next to it. So that means we're gonna chuck some wood in the truck and go deliver it right now. Here we go. So I have a delivery today at the end of the day here, and I am not gonna use the little dump trailer. I'm gonna actually use my truck. And the reason is that we had some snow yesterday, and today we have mud, as you can see here. So my tires are getting just caked full, and I am gonna be doing this delivery on my way home today, because I was working in my other business today, and I came here because I got someone that wanted some wood right away, and I said, yeah, I can bring it today. So he was all happy about it. And I pulled around to the other side of my bin here just to check out what it was like, because we had this snow right here, and this was all snow this morning. And I walked through here and I drove my truck, and it's all mushy, really nice and soft right here, because I wanted to come from this end of the bin and get wood, but it was so soft right here I didn't want to tear it all up. So I pulled in just to take a look at it, and I thought, well, I can hook up the trailer and shove it in here. And then I looked at how soft it was, and I just don't want to tear it up. It's not that I can't put the trailer in and I wouldn't get stuck, but I just don't want to tear the ground up any more than I have to. So sometimes you just got to make a decision to not make a mess, and today is the day. And I'm on my way home, and I figured I might as well get it right now. But look at that icky, sticky, sloppy, snotty kind of stuff here. So when I pull out, it's going to be awfully, I'm going to be flinging chunks of mud everywhere. So we're going to take from this oak bin right here, I'm going to throw it into the truck, and then on my way home, I'm going to do a delivery and make money on the way home. So that's a good thing. Let's get chucking. Look at that, a load of wood is in the bin, in the truck, the Chariot Choice Chunks. And I'm gonna answer the 3 most common questions that I get once again. Happens all the time here on the channel. Number 1 question, no, I have never broke a window in a truck, ever. I have been throwing wood into the back of a truck for 53 years. When I was about 8 years old, my dad started burning with wood to heat the house, and he made us load the truck all the time and haul wood so that we could get it home, take it into the basement and stack it. And he told us that if we ever broke a window, we'd have to buy a new one. So I'm pretty careful when I throw it in. I have a little backspin. I throw it more to the middle, and then I level it off later. I don't throw it up to the front. I've never broke a window in 53 years, and I've thrown wood into trucks for probably a dozen different pickups. Between my brothers, my dad's, mine, never broke a window. That's the first question that I get all the time on the channel. I'm probably answered 100 more times. It comes up about once a day on my channel. People ask me that are new to the channel, never broke a window. Number 2, this is a 1/3 of a cord or a face cord, same thing. 16-inch pieces, you fill it level like this with a little bit of a crest. It's just a little bit more than a 1/3 of a cord or a face cord. That is how I know when I have these bins that are just full of loose wood, like you see here, all this loose wood. I do not measure it ahead of time. I do not stack anymore, because it dries just fine in these bins. And when I deliver the wood and I put it into people's racks, people that have the 8-foot wide racks that are 4 feet high, there's always a crest to it. They always get more wood than a 1/3 of a cord. So that's the second one. I just know that that's how much is in my truck. And when I use my little dump trailer, I fill it half full, because it holds 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. When I fill it half full, guess what? There's a 1/3 of a cord in there. And people always get a little extra, because I always throw a few extra pieces in, because I'd rather give them a little bit extra wood and not have to stack, because it saves me hundreds and hundreds of hours. 3rd most asked question, how do these bins work for drying wood? Excellent is the answer. A lot of people say, well, how can it possibly dry? Stacked wood is how wood dries. No, stacked wood is actually tighter together fit than what this loose stuff is in these bins here. This is loose, it's fluffy. There's a lot more space in it. Air can flow through this stuff just fine. There's all kinds of room in there for the wind and the sun to do its thing, and the wood dries just fine. I do have a couple stacked piles over here I'll show you of some birch. I got to go around the mud here because we got some mud going on. And this stacked stuff, I don't know if you guys take a look at it. It is packed in here pretty tight. because when you stack wood, you fit it in like a jigsaw puzzle tight. So it actually is tighter together, this full cord that's right here. This is actually tighter together than this loose stuff is over here. This loose stuff, air can flow it just through it just fine. And these big bins that I have, this one right here, holds, I don't know, something like 20, 25 full cords. And the wood dries excellent, absolutely excellent. So it has not been a problem at all. I know there's a lot of people afraid of it because they have grown up stacking wood and they figure that's what you got to do is stack the wood. Well, you stack the wood for 3 reasons. Number 1, to save space. Number 2, to make it look pretty. Number 3, so you know how much wood you have exactly. I don't care how much I have exactly because all I want for wood is more. I want more wood. And by doing this, I can cut and produce more wood, just having it loose. All the big time professional sellers, the guys that sell thousands and thousands of cords of wood a year, they don't stack. They put everything in great big huge piles, big cones. So I came up with this bin idea so that I could drive between the bins like this, and we can get the tractor and trailer right through here. We can come from any end and we can load it easily, either with an elevator or just by chucking it in. And it's easy to get at. We can drive right between the rows and we can get at it, throw it in. I got different bins. This right here is hickory. This over here is hard maple. The big one over there is hard maple. On this end, there's beech down here. The bin that we just came from has oak, and most of my oak from one bin is completely gone. We're already starting to refill it. Right over there is cherry. We filled that up just the other day. And this right here is all oak. This is red oak in this bin. And it is all the way through to that side. And the wood over here, this was white oak all the way from here, all the way to that end. But all that's left for white oak is this little bit right here in the middle because we sold it all. That's what's left. And this is new wood that we just put in. That's mixed hardwood. And down here is mixed hardwood. The bin over there that you see, that wood was all completely full from end to end. And I sold everything from that end all the way down to right here, and we're starting to refill it now with new wood for next year, because as we sell it off, I just keep refilling. So that's kind of the plan, is we just refill it. You can see here, if you look right here is where last year's wood starts, and it goes just over to there. So this was all originally full all the way to that end, stacked that high. Same as this bin, we emptied that once already and we refilled it this year during the winter time. So, and if you see the totes here, Bert put all of our pine in there just to get it off the ground this winter, and it's really nice. He has it on pallets, but I am not going to use totes. To me, it takes too much time. You got to stack it in there, and you got to get it out of there. And no matter what you do for dumping it, unless you have an articulating loader that you can go in, tip it upside down, that works. But then again, you can't stack them unless you go lower. And then if you go lower like this, like down here, that is not a face cord or a third of a cord in there. It is quite a bit less than that, actually. You got to go really high with it and mound it. And I would need, a lot of people are telling me, I guess that's the 4th question, come to think of it. How come I don't use totes? Because I sell 200 full cords a year. One tote holds less than a third of a cord. So that means I would have to have 700, maybe 800 totes at $30 a piece. Do some math. Yeah, I'm not going to use totes. And I think they're actually harder. I see people that use them. I've seen the bags. To me, they don't seem to work that good. I have used totes to throw wood in and we'd get it out of there, even if we're using the forks to lift them up and tip them in and get it out. Unless you take the top bars off, which makes them much more weak and flexible, and then they don't stack very good. They don't really hold their shape really well. I just don't care for the totes. What I'm doing right now is easier for me, is faster, and for me, it works better. But I'm weird, so there's that. Some of you like them, that's fine. I just don't want to have 700 to 800 of them. And then if I deliver totes, how do you unload them at the customer? You just tip them out and take the tote. Do you leave the tote? And then if you're taking totes and you're going to leave them there, you got to take them off your truck somehow. So how do you do that at a customer's? Unless you've got some type of a grapple, some type of a loader you're going to take. I like to dump the trailer and drive away. This is a weird example because I am going old school with this, because I'm on my way home today with this delivery. I'm going to deliver this and I'm going to go home, which is about a mile from where this delivery is. And I don't want the trailer in my driveway tonight. We got company coming, so I don't want the driveway full of a trailer. So I am not taking the dump trailer. I'm just taking the truck like this. I'm going to do it old school and just toss it off. And that's another thing that I should bring. Man, I got all kinds of complaints here today. The other thing is that people say, oh, you're touching the wood too much. The main reason I started doing firewood, number one, is to get some exercise. If I run a machine to do everything, I get no exercise. I'm on my butt, moving my wrist. That's not a lot of exercise. Actually, physically picking up wood and tossing it and moving it is good exercise. I enjoy it. I don't mind it. It's what is helped keeping me in somewhat decent shape. I'm not just round like a lot of guys that sit on machines all the time. Sorry if it offended you, but that's the case. A lot of guys avoid work. I like work. It's fun. Let's go deliver some wood right now.